I want to bring you some live pictures from Baltimore. This is a community center which is completely engulfed in flames. You can see the aerial video there from the top, and where you see the flames and the bright lights. That's where this community center is located. Now, we do not know what caused this fire, but wow, that entire structure has gone up in flames. Emergency crews, fire officials clearly on the scene. This looks like a pretty large fire. We will be watching this, and of course, if we get any information, we will bring it to you live. For more on the riots in Baltimore and the disturbing scenes that have really played out today, including police brutality, I'm joined by Matthew Durington, an anthropology professor from Towson University. Professor, thanks for being on the program.
Glad to be with you.
So give me your reaction when you look at these pictures of what has unfolded today. What goes through your mind?
It's incredibly disheartening to see my adopted city of Baltimore suffering the way it is tonight. It's been suffering for a long time from a variety of social and economic woes, and to see this manifestation of it is it's really upsetting.
So talk to me about the relationship between police and the community in Baltimore. How have things been in the past? Clearly, things are not looking so great right now.
Sure. I mean, I think you cannot deny that there have been historic problems between the police in Baltimore City and the urban population there. But to echo what your reporter was saying earlier, I believe over the last few days, the relations between protesters and those folks in the city have been more or less peaceful, except for a couple of flare-ups. And unfortunately, what you saw today was a nexus of schools getting out, a major transportation hub, and quite frankly, anger boiling over after the funeral of this teenager. And all this is happening in the wake of what is really important, which a black teenager was put to rest today by his family. And unfortunately, we're having to see these images and what a few people are doing to take away from that important moment.
So who are the people who are doing this? Who are the people who are looting that pharmacy on the corner? And who are the people who are setting cars on fire? Who are these people?
No matter what politicians or clergy or educators or other folks are going to do, they are not going to reach everyone. And some people do it just to instigate violence. There's no doubt about that. There is culpability and blame there. But at the same time, too, you have to understand that this isn't happening in a social or economic or historical vacuum. This is a very disenfranchised population. And just like with Ferguson and other events that have been happening the last several months in America, folks have gotten to the point where they can't take it anymore. And unfortunately, you're seeing some individuals that don't know how to deal with that in appropriate ways that are nonviolent. David Simon, the creator of the show The Wire, which Baltimore is mostly known for tonight, made a plea online. You can't make social change with a brick in your hand. But unfortunately, many people feel like that's the only path that they can take. And we're seeing the attentiveness that that can bring when you see a fire and other types of looting and violence occurring in the city.
Matthew, we have some live pictures up on the air right now. This is a community center completely engulfed in flames. Can you tell us a little bit more about this community center?
I don't know exactly where that is. I know it is in East Baltimore, and most of the activity and violence today has been in West Baltimore. So to see that now on the other side of the city is very disconcerting, because you can only imagine, as the sun has gone down and the night begins, if there's a fire popping up in another part of the city away from where most of the violence was occurring today, it's scary to think about what could happen in the next few hours.
And Matthew, finally, I do want to mention Freddie Gray. You mentioned his funeral today on Monday. What is the message here to the family of this young man who lost his life? Just as you mentioned, hours after he's laid to rest, the city erupts in violence.
And those aren't the people that are really there caring for what this family needs. One of the most lasting images that I hope the media will begin to cover, an incredible scene where clergy from across denominations walked down the street in West Baltimore, arm in arm with Elijah Cummings, the congressman that represents the district, along with a number of other individuals. Those are the positive momentum shifts that need to be seen in the media. That's what people are going to galvanize to. If they see that on the air, it can really start to have some hope around this.
Matthew Durington, anthropology professor from Towson University. Thank you so much, sir.